Good evening. So first thing before we officially get started, I'd like to bring your attention to the front of the room. If you notice, there are two new mic stands on both sides of the table. These are the ones that are pointing down. And so these mics are super sensitive, and their purpose is to hopefully enable more fluid board member conversation. And so what this should mean is, where normally we've had Patricia and or Sarah get like 2,000 steps in while running the microphone back and forth, they should no longer need to do that. And so when we do get to like those discussion moments, right, as long as you project towards the front and you do project strongly, then these mics should be able to pick up what you're saying. That also means, too, that these mics should also be able to pick up any side conversations as well. And so RIP to Sarah and Patricia getting in all of their steps, and just letting folks know, too, that when we get to that portion, as long as you project strongly into the front, then we should be able to hear what you're saying. So I wanted to give folks that. And so this meeting of Brooklyn Community Board 14 is called to order on Monday, October 7th, 2024 at 7:02 p.m. under the applicable statutes of New York State, the Charter of New York City, the board's bylaws, and Robert's Rules of Order. So the board's policy is to encourage detailed public discussion of matters before the board, at our committee meetings, and at public hearings. Consequently, except by board members, there will be no public discussion at our regularly monthly meetings of matters about which a public hearing or committee meeting has been held. Specific service delivery requests or complaints should be brought to the attention of the district office's staff by calling the board office during regular business hours or by visiting our website anytime. Other matters of civic interest may be brought before the board during our scheduled public comment period, which will begin tonight after all other business on the board's monthly meeting agenda has been concluded. No partisan political appeals or advertising of for-profit enterprises will be heard. So persons wishing to speak during the public comment period were asked to pre-register. And so first thing up, could the secretary please call the roll?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Wahil Ahmed, Carissa Alfonso, Gregory Alvarez, present. Hindi Bendel, Benjamin Bendet, Davina Bolanot, Christopher Bromson,
Present.
Joanne Brown, Edward Sen, Carl Henry Cesar,
Present.
Florencia Changajita, present. Yvette Claire Jean, Stephen D. Cohen,
Here.
Elizabeth Dennis,
Present.
Derek Donald, Sabina Dorville,
Present.
Joseph Dweck, Hatem El Gamasi,
Present.
Gerald Gray,
Present.
Suzanne Hargett,
Present.
Lee Harmon, Musa Hassoun,
Here.
William Hattar,
Here.
Mordecai Osarski,
Present.
Nautica Johnson, Erica Phillips Jones,
Here.
Shahid Khan,
Here.
Alex Lesman,
Present.
Naomi Lipnick, Donald Loggins,
Present.
Sasha Masluski, Melissa Minnick, Ephraim Nierenberg,
Present.
Eric Ost,
Here.
Ornella Parker, Nora Pena,
Here.
Susan Phillip, Svi Plotzker,
Here.
Barton Prasant,
Here.
Baza Ruhi, Nina Sapgir, Joel Siegel.
Here.
Gail L. Smith.
Present.
Tova Svenberg.
Present.
Abraham Truff. Deborah Valentin.
Present.
Dawn Marie Walker.
Here.
Kendall Washington. And Glenn Wallen.
Here.
Are present.
Thank you very much, Secretary. And so next item up, we have the minutes. And so did we receive any changes to the minutes via email? Okay, do we have, so hearing none, do we have any changes to the minutes from the floor? So hearing neither in both categories, do I have a motion to adopt the minutes of the September 2024 General Board meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. So are there any opposed? Any abstentions? Anyone ineligible to vote? Okay, so the motion carries. Thank you. So moving on to the district manager's report.
Hi, good evening. I have a brief report tonight, just because we met a little while ago. But in the meantime, I did attend our first Borough Service Cabinet meeting of the year with the Borough President's Office. We did finish 2 more rounds of budget consultations, which covered 11 agencies. And we'll be hearing more about that when we have our budget committee meeting coming up soon. Also enjoyed the reception, which you'll be hearing more about, but thanks to staff, Sarah Skla and Patricia Olander, for helping put that together, to EMJC for hosting us, Debbie Zeitlin for making it possible for us to offer a meal, and Jacob Abadi, who is also a community member who is of assistance in getting that party together. Also to the board members and community members who joined us and made it so much fun. Thank you for coming out. Last week we had our first district service cabinet meeting, where we're really trying to drill down on some of the more persistent and pesky quality of life issues, especially those that overlap with more than one city agency, and making some progress on some and meeting some stubborn resistance on others. But we, some of you have heard me say persistence is my only superpower. So we'll keep at it, but please, you are all out there in different pockets of the community on a daily basis. So don't hesitate to call, don't hesitate to give us updates with things you've already called about if it's not moving along. Please keep us in the loop. We try to stay in the loop, but also we can't be everywhere all the time, so keep us in the loop. We really do appreciate getting the information. Sometimes I get a call with an apology, sorry to bother you. No, this is what we do. So please let us know what you're seeing and hearing out there, and how we can help. I spoke to, tomorrow I'm going to have a longer conversation with her, but Paige Kloss, you may remember, was one of our Fund for the City of New York Planning Fellows who did the project on flooding in the district. So she called and asked if she could carry on this project to meet her capstone requirements. So it's been a great, it was great working with her. And she's the second planning fellow sort of come back and asked if there's a way to continue doing that work. So it just adds value to an already really valuable experience working with planning fellows and knowing that they're getting something out of it, as evidenced by their wanting to keep at it. So I will be updating you more on opportunities for engagement with Paige as she carries on this project. So looking forward to continuing to work with her. She was great. Thank you. That's all for me tonight.
Thank you very much. And so I'd like to recognize a few folks. And so we have Brian Grady. So thank you very much for always being here. And then we also have Sabrina DeJuiced. So thank you very much. And then we also have Abraham Malachowski as well. So thank you. And Mary Kay Siri. So thank you folks very much for being here. So for the chair's report, good evening, board members. And so for those who celebrate Navratri, I hope you do so well. For those who celebrated Rosh Hashanah, I hope it was deeply reflective and empathetic. For those who will celebrate Yom Kippur, may it be a meaningful and enlightening one. And for those who will celebrate Sukkot, may it be a deeply powerful reminder of the challenging yet delicate balance between vulnerability and togetherness. And for those who celebrate Diwali, may it be a joyous celebration. And so we did have a CB14 annual reception on Thursday, September 19th at the East Midwood Jewish Center. We did it because June was crazy. And I do thank the folks who were able to come, and I hope that they did have a wonderful time. Some, but not all, the highlights were that some attendees did get bingo. I want to thank Yvette, Claire Jean, and Anuela Parka for their work in coming up with the bingo sheet. We gave shout outs to Dovey Zeitlin and his catering company, and also Wayne Rosenfeld and the East Midwood Jewish Center for being partners in hosting us, and all the work that they do as well too. Folks did receive community recognition awards, and so the 70th Precinct received one. The members who received it were Sergeant John Velez, Detective Scott Nuzzi, Detective Natasha Mosley, Officer Michael Joseph, and Officer Juan Reyes. For the Department of Sanitation, New York, Brooklyn 14 Garage, Superintendent Robert McKenna, and the supervisors Ray Edwards, Matt McDonough, Matt Nickel, Patrick Gregory, and Anthony Portalatin. For the Department of Aging, Sharice Lawrence received one as well. For Housing and Preservation Department, Arvind Sinwali. And for NYC Transportation, Andy Inglesby, who is retiring. And last but not least, we gave Councilmember Kalman Yeager a shout out for his dedication to the community. And so he first as a CB14 member when he started in 2000, and then next as a city council member since 2018. And when he became a city council member, then he became an ex officio board member. And so we did this because if he wins his upcoming November election, then Councilmember Yeager will become a state assembly member, and then from that point forward, he can no longer be an ex officio member of the board. And so he graciously shared a few words on his journey to serving the community, and then also his thoughts on what it meant to do that as well. So the next update I want to give folks is on a public hearing on a New York Community Hospital application. And so on Tuesday, September 24th, at the Brooklyn Community Board 14 office, a public hearing was held. This was to receive public comment in relation to an application by a private applicant, the New York Community Hospital of Brooklyn, whose ULURP number is C180070MMK. And so the New York Community Hospital of Brooklyn is proposing to build a new infectious disease isolation unit by demapping a portion of the sidewalk at Avenue O and Kings Highway. And so representatives from the New York Community Hospital attended the public hearing, and a presentation was done by the representative, Richard Lobel, and Amanda Iannotti from Sheldon Lobel PC. And so while there were no registered speakers, people who did attend did register at the public hearing. And so some of the key points, but not all of them that emerged, were concerns about negative changes to the sidewalk on Avenue O and traffic around that. Lobel said no changes would occur. Furthermore, Lobel also said that the Department of Transportation did ask for an easement back of the sidewalk area. And then also, New York Community Hospital representatives said that existing ambulance service would suffice. There were additional concerns raised about outstanding issues regarding traffic in that area, confusion about staffing needs and how many people would be served, and then what the impact of that new infectious disease unit could be to the area. So in the end, a recommendation was made to approve the application, and the motion passed. After the motion passed, District Manager Campbell did ask the New York Community Hospital representatives who were present to do another community gathering with the neighbors to address those raised concerns. So that meeting will take place on October 10th, and it will be attended by District Manager Campbell, some members from the 70th Precinct, the Department of Transportation, the New York Community Hospital, and residents. So that meeting will be happening this Thursday. And so, is there any discussion on the matter from board members here tonight regarding what I just summarized on that public hearing? Okay, so seeing no hands raised, do I have a motion to approve the recommendation from the public hearing with regards to an application by New York Community Hospital ULURP number C180070MMK to build a new infectious, thank you. Do I have a second? Second. All right, so all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right. Any abstentions? Anyone ineligible to vote? Okay, thank you. So moving to the Brooklyn Borough Board report, the October Brooklyn Borough Board meeting took place on Tuesday, October 1st. We started with the presentations because quorum hadn't been achieved when it started, but at some point during the presentations we reached quorum. So then we went back around to the top of the agenda. So the key things I want to share with folks, we had a presentation on community air monitoring, a presentation on 5-year accessibility plan, and then intro 1065. So with respect to the presentation on community air monitoring, Adriana Espinoza, the Deputy Commissioner of Equity and Justice in the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, presented. So the short story is the New York State Climate Act established a community air monitoring program. This program's responsibility is to monitor air quality in disadvantaged communities, and this is a term defined within the state act itself, share the results, and then develop mitigation plans based on these results. So on Thursday, October 10th, they will be doing a presentation at Brooklyn Borough Hall. The presentation will be from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. The first hour is supposed to cover presentation plus time to ask questions and provide feedback. And then the second hour is supposed to cover an info session with interactive story maps. Some of the questions that arose were, how will the mitigation steps be identified? Will there be funding for the mitigation steps? If an area's air quality was not monitored, how would said area notify the state and be included in the air monitoring program? And so that was that piece regarding that presentation. The second presentation was with regards to a 5-year accessibility plan. So Emily Sweet, the General Counsel for the Mayor's Office for People with Disabilities, presented. So in January of 2023, Local Law 12 was passed, and it stated that city agencies must have a 5-year accessibility plan. And accessibility means, quote unquote, that the workplace services, programs, and activities are accessible to and accommodating and inclusive of people with disabilities. So city agencies had until the end of 2023, early 2024 to prepare their plan. She was there to present to us because the city law department informed MOPD that community boards count as city agencies too. And so some of the questions that arose were what to do when a community board office is within a city building, what to do when a community board office is within a privately owned building, what to do if the community board office faces staffing challenges, what funding exists, if any, to support funding these mandates, what trainings will occur, what is the expected timeline. And so Emily did say that the office is deciding if it should modify the city agency template for community board use. And so that's the piece regarding the 5-year accessibility plan presentation. The last piece that I'm sharing with folks is something called Intro 1065. So this bill was introduced on September 26, 2024. Per its summary, this bill would limit the term of community board district managers to 4 years with the possibility of reappointment and provide borough presidents with the power to remove district managers at will. So several concerns were raised. There was some frustration, disappointment, and anger that community boards were not consulted at all. There was concern about the potential for borough presidents to overreach their power. There was concern that even if some community boards have a contentious relationship with the district manager, it doesn't mean that such a broad policy change should apply to all. And there were concerns about many other potentially unintended impacts. So a motion was made and seconded for the prime sponsor of the bill to come to the next Brooklyn Borough Board meeting and share their thinking behind the bill and answer our questions. However, by this time, we had lost quorum. So the vote couldn't happen anymore, and this meant that we had to move the item to unfinished business in the November Brooklyn Borough Board meeting. And that concludes the chair's report. And so we are now on to the, so first I'd like to recognize Officers Joseph and Jewel from the 70th Precinct. Jewel, my bad, I apologize for not saying your name. So thank you very much for being here.
Welcome.
And so now this brings us to the topical committees. And so we will first start with youth services, education, and libraries, and then we will move to community environment, cultural affairs, and economic development.
Hello? Hello? Is this on? Yeah, oh, good. All right. Good evening. My name is Eric. I'm the co-chair of the Youth Services Education and Libraries Committee. We held a meeting on Monday, September 16th on WebEx. It was a presentation from Brooklyn College's Alan Gilbert. He was a representative from the president's office, and he was a co-chair of the Strategic Plan Committee of Brooklyn College, and he was sharing about the strategic plan. They recently adopted a new one. They do it every 5 years. There's a lot in there. So you can check out the meeting to learn more about it, but specific to our committee and some of the other members here, the college is looking to improve collaboration with community partners, with businesses, nonprofits, other agencies to enhance the education and career opportunities, internship opportunities for Brooklyn College students. So that's something you may want to be in touch about if that connects with you. He spoke about the College Now program, which brings high school students into the college to earn credits, and the Preparatory Center for Performing Arts, which is music and dance education for young people, elementary school, middle school, to learn instruments, performance, and theater. My daughter happens to be in that program. It is not a very utilized program. I feel like the word is not out about it, so here we are, spreading the word about it. It meets on the weekends, and it's excellent. They do, what do you call it? Practice twice a year. They have recitals and very good instructors. So check it out. And I also want to say Brooklyn College, he said, there's so many scholarships and grants that many of the Brooklyn College students graduate debt-free. Are there any Brooklyn College graduates in here? A few? They have a great alumni network as well. So that is Brooklyn College, and there's more about that on the, if you go on the website and look at the committee web presentation. We also, our second presenter was from the Neighborhood Advisory Board that covers our district, NAB they call it, NAB 14. A woman, Hannah Zarzar, was recently appointed chairperson. It's a volunteer organization. These were new to me, so I learned a lot about them. Neighborhood advisory boards, for those who don't know, are volunteer-run boards that provide residents of low-income communities with opportunity to help DYCD identify funding priorities. So the NAB works directly with DYCD and includes the community in identifying needs, priorities, and then also decision-making about resource allocation. So if you are interested in the NAB, Hannah is looking for volunteers for that. If you don't have enough on your plate already, and you're interested in this, I encourage you, anyone, it's open to the public, you just Google NAB NYC and all the information is there. And that's it. Thanks very much.
Thank you. So next up we have Community Environment and Cultural Affairs, followed by the Human Services Committee.
Hello, everybody. I'm Joel Siegel. I'm the co-chair of the Community Environment, Cultural Affairs, and Economic Development Committee. We met on September 30th by WebEx last week, and we had 3 speakers. Woman Kenya Cummings, who is the program manager at I Am Caribbean, which is a cultural and economic development organization. They celebrate and promote the diverse Caribbean community. They operate a duty-free store at 1399 Nostrand Avenue at Linden Boulevard, which opened a year ago. And they have at the store, they have the work of 30 artisans from the Caribbean diaspora. It's also a gathering place for events. They recently held or contributed to a variety of events, including the 3rd annual One Love Festival in Prospect Park with 17 vendors, and a Little Caribbean Earth Day. And they're producing the 4th edition of their Little Caribbean Passport publication for the holidays with listings of places to eat and shop. They'll also be operating a holiday market at their store from November 30th to December 29th. And so if you're interested in the I Am Caribbean organization, their slide presentation is on our website. Our second speaker was Lupe Ramsey, who's the Director of Economic Development for Flatbush Development Corporation, FDC. And FDC is in the process of applying for a New York State downtown revitalization grant for revitalizing downtown areas. And they're looking for a $20 million grant. And on behalf of the Flatbush community, they are spearheading this grant request. They made it through the second phase of the process, and they're on to the full grant proposal phase. The $20 million grant would be to foster economic growth, enhance community well-being, improve quality of life in Flatbush. The grant goes to the community. FDC is in the process of collecting community partners, organizing specific events to be included in the grant proposal. Some of the items under consideration to be part of the grant are flood mitigation, tree beds, street lighting, streetscaping improvements, public art, traffic calming, investment to Newkirk Plaza, small business support for Avenue H, job creation, and increasing safety at the Foster Bedford Flatbush intersection, and creating a public gathering places that are safe and desirable. So it's a big package of ideas, and they're looking to match projects with private and city money. So that's a big thing that they're doing. Our last speaker was Marissa Yanni from the Department of Sanitation. Beginning November 12th, about a month from now, 1- and 2-family homes and buildings up to 9 units must be put in bins of 55 gallons or less with secured lids. Official bins of the Department of Sanitation, which are durable and rat-resistant, can be purchased on their website. By 2026, everyone will have to have Department of Sanitation pails for regular garbage, because they'll be lifted up by mechanisms on the trucks. One last thing, they informed us that for commercial cleanliness violations, fines are going up for repeat violations, dirty sidewalks and obstructions. So that was their gift to the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that. So we have Human Services and then Community Safety.
I'm going to quickly do the Human Service Committee report because the co-chairs couldn't be here tonight. But just keep an eye out for your November calendar, because they will be hosting a meeting on November 19th. And right now on the agenda is a presentation by principals from SUNY Downstate. And so that will be an important meeting for the community. It's really leaning, the community input is leaning more heavily into CB9 and CB17 because of the location of the hospitals, but it certainly does affect our community as well. So, so join us and stay tuned.
Thank you very much for that update. So next up, we have Community Safety, followed by Transportation.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, everybody. So we're going to have our meeting, our first meeting of the new year, on October 29th at 6:30 on WebEx. If you could please all join us. We're going to have a report from the 70th Police Precinct, an introduction to the PG units by Deputy Inspector Gregory Mackey, the commanding officer of the 70th Precinct. We're also going to have a presentation on Ready New York Community Preparedness Resources and Opportunities by our own Ed Powell, Senior Outreach Coordinator of New York Emergency Management. So we hope to see all of you there.
Just in addition, the precinct council meeting will be on the 30th of this month at the ADEPT Center. And just FYI, our police officers, who keeps us safe, had a walk-run. Detective Dylan Stewart's widow, and his niece, they did this as a fundraiser so that they could give scholarships to students and it was very well attended. And Chief McAvoy, he actually placed in his category. I, however, did not, because I was taking pictures of flowers and trees. Thank you.
So next up, we have Transportation Committee, followed by Housing and Land Use.
Hi, good evening. My name is Deborah Valentine. I'm the co-chair of Transportation.
My name is Musa, co-chair. All right, so we haven't had a meeting yet, but we do have one scheduled for November 6th. The DOT is going to present an update on the bike lane proposal that they had made to us in 2023. We're also going to have the New York City Transportation Authority come and provide an update on MTA projects in the district and an overview of their 5-year capital plan. We encourage everybody to join us. Thank you.
Please join us.
So next up, we have Housing and Land Use, followed by the Transition Committee.
Good evening, everybody. Greg Alvarez, one of the co-chairs of the Housing and Land Use Committee, along with Joanne Brown. We are also about to schedule our first meeting of this new year. It's going to be either on the 12th or 13th, we don't know yet. But the topic will be good faith eviction. Good cause eviction. I'm sorry, I messed that up. Good cause eviction, thank you. And so we're going to have representatives to speak more specifically as to the new requirements and new rules, and we invite everyone to join us, so thank you very much.
Thank you. So next up, our Transition Committee.
Me again. Join us for, this is scheduled as an in-person meeting. It's the Transition Committee and the Budget Committee, and it is scheduled for the 15th of this month, 15th of October. And just a quick reminder, everybody is welcome, members of the public and all members of the board, but the Budget Committee is comprised by all co-chairs of all standing committees, as well as the Executive Committee. So see a lot of you there.
Yeah.
Cool. And then before we go to the next piece, Sabrina Dorville, I need to apologize to you because I said the wrong name. So my apologies for that. So now, before we head to the public session, as usual, I just want to thank Wayne Rosenfeld and the East Midwood Jewish Center for hosting our meeting. And then I also want to thank Mark Moss for his continued support and help live streaming this meeting as well. Couldn't do this without you folks. And I also want to acknowledge Britt Bird. So thank you very much for being here. Bill President Reynoso's office. And so this brings us to the public comment period. So board members are expected to remain for the public comment period, and speakers can sign up for time with Patricia or Sarah at the back of the room up until the beginning of the public comment period, and matters of civic interest and announcements of public events are invited. Please, no partisan political appeals or advertising of for-profit enterprises. Each speaker will be permitted to speak for up to 3 minutes and may not receive additional time from another speaker. And speakers are directed to address the assembly from the front of the room. And at the conclusion of the 3-minute period, each speaker should return to their seat. And so the board does have an obligation to conduct its business in an orderly fashion. And so any person preventing the meeting from continuing in said fashion may be asked to leave. And so the intent of the public comment period is to permit the board and the committee a chance to hear diverse perspectives on these issues. And accordingly, speaking time will be assigned first to speakers from different groups, and then to speakers addressing different issues, and finally, time permitting, to additional speakers on an issue from a single group. So it is now 7:35 p.m. The first speaker is Mary Kay Siri, followed by Britt Bird.
Hi, everybody. Just quickly going to remind everybody of some events that Assemblymember Carroll is hosting at his office at 416 7th Avenue between 13th and 14th Streets in Park Slope. The first event is on Wednesday, 2 days from now. The Department of Sanitation shredding truck is going to be there from 9 to 12. It's unlimited, the amount you can bring, so come on down if you're able. We also have the Department of Finance there with one-on-one appointments, but they're all booked. If you want to join the waiting list, you can call the office tomorrow. And then on October 30th, we're going to have the MetroCard van at the Assembly member's office, which is great. Any business you want to do that involves the MetroCard, you can do on site, including applying for reduced fare cards. They do the applications with you, take photos, everything. And in addition, we're also going to have Department of Buildings there, and you can get a one-on-one appointment with the Department of Buildings representative. Just call our office. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so next up we have Britt Bird, followed by Brian Grady.
Hi, thank you. I'm Britt with VP Reynoso's office. Just 2 items from me today. First, just reiterating the announcement from earlier on Thursday, there is the Community Advisory Group for the air quality study. I left a couple of flyers at the check-in desk if you'd like to grab one. While CB14 isn't formally part of the study area, it still will be useful for information, and if you live or work in East New York or closer to BQE or have business in those areas, I think it will be a very important meeting to go over the air quality study. Other than that, the Community Baby Shower Fund is still open. So in August, the Borough President announced the creation of $50,000 Community Baby Shower Fund. These give communities an opportunity to celebrate new and expecting parents, distribute baby supplies, and share information and pre- and postnatal resources to support healthy pregnancies across the borough. So through the fund, eligible nonprofits, so 501c3s, can apply for up to $5,000 in matching funds to support the cost of non-personnel expenses associated with the community baby shower. More information is for how to apply is available on our website, and the applications are taken and accepted on a rolling basis. Other than that, the Borough President wishes a Happy New Year, Happy Hispanic Heritage Month, and sends as well wishes for the upcoming holidays as well. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Britt. And so we have Brian Grady, followed by Lauren Collins.
Hi, good evening. I'm Brian with Councilmember Rita Joseph's office. Just want to also join in wishing everyone a Happy New Year. Celebrated Rosh Hashanah last week, and meaningful High Holy Days. So just a few events for your calendar. So the first 2 I don't have flyers for, but we're pleased to announce the co-naming ceremony for Mary Kay Gallagher is scheduled for Friday, October 18th, and that's going to be at Marlborough Road and Beverly Road. All are welcome to attend. And also want to announce the voter registration rally that we're going to be having in partnership with council members Lewis, Narcisse, and Hudson, as well as Live On New York, Brooklyn Emerge, New York Votes, and Medgar Evers College. That's going to be on October 22nd. That's a Tuesday from 2 to 6 at the Flatbush Central Market at Flatbush Avenue and Caton Avenue. Coming up on Wednesday, October 9th from 11 to 3 at the Cortellia Branch Brooklyn Public Library, we're going to be having the Office of Administrative Trials and Hearings, or OATH. If you have any fines or summons that you need any advice or need assistance with any submitting any online defense, they'll be there to assist with that, and our office is going to be tabling there. That's Wednesday. Also want to just announce the Deep Theft Prevention Workshop that's being hosted by, or presented by VP Reynoso's office and a handful of other city agencies. That's going to be on Tuesday, October 15th from 6 to 8:30. I know this is a big issue in our district. I will be trying to attend this. This is going to be at Medgar Evers College at 1650 Bedford Avenue. And also, Speaker Adrian Adams is going to be hosting some estate planning and information consultations. So there's going to be intakes held for those at 111 Livingston Street on the 21st floor on Wednesday, October 9th from noon to 8. And last but not least, we are having, our office is sponsoring, along with Dad Bod, with a gentleman named Mackenzie Duncan, a bike giveaway. So for 10 young people, will be eligible for free bikes. I think these are really nice bikes. They're like $700 a piece or something. And some other events as well. That's going to be on October 12th from 11 to 4 at the parade ground. As usual, our office is here to assist with anything related to housing searches, legal assistance, particularly for housing and benefits. You're welcome to contact our office at 930 Flatbush Avenue. We're there from Monday through Thursday from 10 to 5. And on Fridays, we work remotely. You can always give me a call. Our office district number is 718-287-8762. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Brian. So we have Lauren Collins, followed by Jay Topman.
Hi, good evening. I'm Lauren Collins from the Church Flatbush Community Alliance, which used to be the Church Avenue bid and Flatbush Avenue bid. Tomorrow night is our annual meeting, which will be at Pish Restaurant at 774 Flatbush Avenue. Food, great food, actually, and cash bar, and also you'll be able, if you come, you're able to find out more about what the bid is doing. And we have some videos we're going to show that we produced under a grant, which are really cool for some of the businesses. Speakers include Councilmember Rita Joseph, Dina Rabner from the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce, and the SBS Commissioner, Dinah Shaw-Gross, who is a very new commissioner. She was actually appointed last month, and she's from, well, she's almost from CB14. She lives in CB9. She's close enough. So she's a Brooklyn native, and I hope you can come. I have invitations that's open to the public, so just see me afterwards if you're interested. On October 19th, we have a neighborhood beautification day all around Church Avenue and Flatbush Avenue, looking for more volunteers. We have 3,000 daffodil bulbs to plant, and we're going to provide T-shirts. Kids are welcome, equipment. We really want to get working in those tree beds, so daffodils will be popping up in the spring. And just one other thing to mention, we're also going to be doing some neighborhood improvements through a grant from SBS to do more tree guards and plant trees. So we did that last year. Rita Joseph planted some as well, and we did some other ones, and we have more coming up. So we're going to go through the list soon and see how many we can do. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Collins. So next up, we have Jay Topman.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm Jay Taubman. I'm from Brooklyn Public Library, Cortellia branch. For October 2024, we are celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. In honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, BPL is hosting events across the borough that include and celebrate Latinx culture and literature. Highlights include dance performances, bilingual concerts, and community cooking classes. BPL offers some of these special programs year-round. Over the past year, BPL has worked to expand the number of ESOL classes, particularly as we welcome more asylum seekers. Visit bklynlib.org/ESOL to learn more. A special 6-session Ready Set Kindergarten series kicks off this month for children ages 3 to 5 and their caregivers at 20 branches around Brooklyn and online. Each week at select libraries and online, families will enjoy stories and activities designed to help you and your child get ready for school. Families will receive free materials to continue the learning and fun at home. Come to one or all 6 now through November. On October 19th, in partnership with the American Library Association, Brooklyn Public Library is spearheading a National Day of Action in support of the freedom to read. Book bans and challenges in the U.S. reached an all-time high in 2023 and continue to happen at an alarming rate. We'll be hosting our Freedom Read Day of Action at Central Library from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday, October 19th, with activities for families, speakers, and musical performances, in addition to hosting events all around the borough. At Cortellia branch, we have a Latin social dance and movement on Tuesdays from 6 to 7:30 for 6 weeks. Other information is on the Cortellia branch calendar, which is on the table. Please feel free to take one when leaving. We have diversity visa lottery going on at a few locations, which started on October 2nd and will finish on November 5th. Thank you, Have a Shana Tova and an easy and meaningful Yom Kippur and a happy Sukkot. Also, have a happy Diwali and have a happy Halloween and be safe. Have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you, Jeff. So next up, we have Abraham Malachowski, followed by Taisha Allen.
Good evening, everyone. My name is, try and get this out. Good evening, everyone. My name is Avraham. I am representing Councilmember Farrah Lewis. I'd like to begin by thanking Chair Cesar for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight, and I also hope everyone who celebrated had a happy and joyful Rosh Hashanah. I join Councilmember Lewis in extending our best wishes for the upcoming year. This month is Hispanic Heritage Month, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, as well as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Today also marks the one-year anniversary of the horrific attacks of October 7th, the deadliest day for the Jewish community since the Holocaust, where over 1,200 lives were lost. Many families in our district are still mourning loved ones lost in the conflict abroad. As we remember the victims, I join Councilmember Lewis in praying for peace and an end to senseless violence. Our community needs to stand together, especially in the face of rising hate towards our neighbors and institutions. In recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Councilmember Lewis joined Senator Kevin Parker and local community organizations to host the 9th annual Sweat Fest. This event focused on supporting Black and brown women who are disproportionately affected by breast cancer by offering them the resources needed to make a support group to positively affect their health outcomes. Additionally, our office helped organize a health fair, which included services such as dental screenings, pediatric screenings, diabetes screenings, prostate cancer screenings, and mammogram screenings. Our office is also partnering with the Brooklyn Borough President to host an event with Con Edison to assist residents with any bill-related or any other issues that they have. We will publish more details about that shortly. On October 19th, we're collaborating with CUNY Citizenship Now to organize a citizenship clinic at the Flatbush YMCA, located at 1401 Flatbush Avenue. This event will be by appointment only. If anyone has any questions about that, please come see me afterwards. And lastly, I am very, very, very excited to announce that participatory budgeting is back. There is $1 million, which will be decided by the community how it will be spent. If anyone has any questions, please come speak with me afterwards. As always, our office is located 1434 Flatbush Avenue. We're here to assist with any city government related issues that you may have or any other issues that you may have. You can contact us either by walking in every day besides for Fridays or by calling us at 718-629-2900, 718-629-2900. Wishing everyone who's observing a meaningful Yom Kippur, happy Sukkot, happy Diwali, and a safe Halloween. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Abraham. So next we have Taisha Allen, followed by Officer Jewett.
Good evening, Community Board 14 and board members. Assemblymember Ranise Bashar Hermelin sends greetings to you all, and she also extends her prayers of peace and joining our communities with a heavy heart in mourning of their loved ones, as today does mark the one-year anniversary since the attack on Israel. To those who also observe Rosh Hashanah, may the year 5785 be one of health, success, and prosperity. For announcements, Assemblymember Bashar Hermelin, along with other elected officials, will join CUNY Citizenship Now in assisting permanent residents in completing their application to obtain citizenship. That will be on Saturday, October 19th at the Flatbush YMCA. Flyers are in the back, and this will be by appointment only. Also, in bringing awareness, as this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, we will be having an event at Sun River Health Center on Thursday, October 24th from 6 to 8. RSVP is not required. It's 2351 Bedford Avenue between Tilden and Beverly Road. We're targeting to end the silence towards domestic violence and bring awareness, especially for youth in the community. We also want to wish everyone who will be observing a happy Diwali, happy Halloween, and also Yom Kippur and Sukkot that is to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Taisha. And so next up, we have Officer Jewett.
evening. I'm Officer Adriana Jewett. Just going to give you guys a little background about myself. So I started this job on the civilian level, 2013, as a police administrative aide, and then got promoted to senior police administrative aide, which I worked in the 108 for a month until I was transferred to One Police Plaza for about 5 years. And then I said, I'm going to go for my dream. It doesn't matter how old I am. So I took the police exam, and now I'm a member of service. After my FTU program, I joined CRT, which is the crime reduction team. And then my CO liked what I was doing, and he made me join with the YCOs, the Youth Coordination Officer. So I work with the public, I work with the kids, administrative superintendents, and I built the rapport with them. I was the auntie. So I love the kids. So now I'm embarking on this new venture, and I look forward to just building a rapport and open communication with everyone. That's it. Thank you.
So seeing that we have no more speakers, this concludes the public comment period. And so we adjourn at 7:52 p.m. Just kidding. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Okay, so now we're official. This concludes at 7:52.